Are that Maneater guys, Maneaters, any good in patch 6.0.3? Oh, you thought I'd say his name. Nah. What you will see by the time this video completely ends are these Maneaters defeat, crush, humiliate, MDK, and so on, Swordmasters of Hoeth, Black Orcs with great weapons, and to a somewhat lesser degree with Peasant Archer help, Celestial Dragon Guard. So are they good? Yes. Recruited for 1600 gold and 400 upkeep, on Ultra this gets you 16 entities with 10,400 health between them. That's more than usual. Armor 80 is double the usual. Without dwelling too long, the math of armor says the normal 40 blocks between 20 and 40% of base damage per hit. This will block 40 to 80% of base damage per hit. This means the unit both has more hit points, but also much higher effective health against many enemies. Leadership of 80 is not better, but it was already high. Speed 54 and charge speed 85 are the usual. Melee attack starts at 48, and this is not a Regiment of Renown, it starts at rank 0 with that figure, with an attack interval 3.8, very decent, medium splash target size, so regular cavalry on down, and a maximum target splashed of 3. This is to the unit's benefit. Melee defense 36 is actually 6 worse than usual. Weapon strength 126 is 16 better, split between base 42 and armor piercing 84, with a bonus versus infantry of 16. 16 is very good for a non-chariot. Charge bonus of 50 and mass of 1700 are identical to the base Maneaters. In addition to Ogre charge, preserving half that charge bonus even against braced Celestial Dragon Guard. They are immune to psychology, can hide in forest, cause fear, and have Vanguard deployment just like their leader, a terrifying thing. In addition, they have the passive Adaptive Tactics, offering plus 5 melee attack and plus 10 melee defense if they are losing a melee combat. They're going to win a lot of combats, so I'm not even sure how much you'll see this. In the Redline skills, Best Eaters offers up to plus 6 melee attack and melee defense, and Ravenous Fighters offers rank 7 Maneaters plus 7 melee attack, plus 10% weapon strength, and 15% missile resistance. This last part is quite valuable because, as you are seeing from these demo combats, it's a lot better to just shoot these guys with your heaviest armor-piercing missile damage than trying to outfight them in melee, at least usually. You'd need something very specific, and infantry don't quite seem to cut it. The new tech tree takes all this to new and entirely disgusting levels. When you get to Tribal Tribute, it's minus 10% upkeep for these expensive units, and plus 1 recruit rank. Heavier gut plates adds plus 10 more armor, Finder's Fee reduces recruitment cost by 15%, reduces local recruitment duration by 1 turn, and grants leadership plus 5. Beta Plunda applies sundering attacks to all Maneater units, and remember, yes, they favor armor-piercing damage, but a good third of their damage is still base damage. Reducing armor by 30 for 10 seconds after a hit to any part of a unit is a big deal. It is a force multiplier for any of your other forces. Finally, Ravening Hordes grants plus 10 charge bonus, and grants Ogre charge upgraded so that they lose only a quarter of their charge bonus against braced Celestial Dragon Guard, so they dish out charge bonus 45 rather than 60. So how do you use these special Maneaters? Well, as living battering rams, that's how. Just not against walls. They strip that part away. Boo! More to the point, if these infantry can't stop them, what can? Well, monsters with specialized anti-large have a better shot at it. They also don't have any special spell resistance, so certain kinds of magic, though probably expensive kinds, can help. Short of that, yeah, I'd advise shooting them. A lot. Especially with artillery or armor-piercing rounds. If that won't work, like if your vampire counts, use your fodder to slow them down and try to use it to surround them and get something with serious armor-piercing heft in there. In the end, you'll want the serious high-end anti-large stuff, or you're stuck making do with units as desperately as you can. This is a very good unit. The criticism I heard about was that you're winning fights you'd win anyway with Maneaters, so I'm going to emphasize this a second time. The extra armor means that you are doubling the base damage you can laugh off. Normal Maneaters have a bad problem of accumulating damage in combat. They're really good at dishing it out, but they're bad at taking it, though the more you stack up melee defense, the better. These Maneaters are much harder to wear down with cheap damage. This makes them a reliable core for brutal work. They're a third more expensive than regular Maneaters and a little more expensive than Ogre pistols, and you wouldn't want to fill an entire army with one unless you're rolling in more gold pieces than Scrooge McDuck, which used to be the case for their boss, I know, but a few. Well worth it, I feel. Reducing that chip damage makes them much healthier after the same level of fight, and they do hit harder, and they do hit more often. Take care, and have fun rolling over Black Orcs and laughing in their faces. And just to say it as one last thing, yes, they will really prosper in that Maneater guy's army. It just gets even better. So, yes, have fun with it.